Good afternoon, class. I'm Andrew Hernandez, and today I'll be going over my lesson plan. My lesson plan is having the students play the game of kickball. Now, the students I'll be coaching is elementary, and it's going to be primarily aimed at 5th graders. That would be the ages between 9 and 11 years old. Kickball is an excellent choice of sport for the students to play, for being that it improves the cardiovascular system, along helping the students work on their mechanics, their coordination, to kick the ball on time effectively. It also builds up their lower strength of the body. It's just a great workout overall, which is why I chose to go with this sport. Now, before we actually get started with the game of kickball, there are important things that we have to accomplish before doing so. For example, conducting one warm-up lap around the track, and as well as doing dynamic stretching. That will take the first 10 minutes of the class portion. Next, me as a coach, I'll be demonstrating for the students how to properly kick the ball and properly catch the ball. I will also be going over the rules of the game of kickball for the students that have never played it. Once we accomplish the dynamic stretching, as well as learning how to kick and catch the ball properly, we will then begin the game of kickball. While the students are playing kickball, I will have a whistle on me and a stopwatch, and I'll be making sure everybody's playing fairly and correctly. I'll be supervising the students, making sure that everyone's safe. So like I said before, it'll be 10 minutes of a warm-up lap, dynamic stretching. After that, it'll be 10 minutes of learning how to properly kick and catch the ball. And then we'll move on to the 30 minutes of the game of kickball. After the 30 minutes has elapsed and the game is now over, we will then now go into cool downs. Cool downs will be conducted in 10 minutes. Cool down stretches. Very important that these students know how to properly cool down themselves after a physical activity. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and conduct one warm-up lap and then move on to the dynamic stretching. Now that we've completed the warm-up lap, it is now to begin our stretching. First stretch we're going to do is the toe touches. We'll then switch our feet right over left. Now we'll place our left foot over our right foot. We will then move on to the next stretch, which is spreading your legs. We're going to try and touch our right ankle for 10 seconds. Okay, we'll then move on to the opposite side now. Okay, we will now do down the middle. We will then now conduct high knees for 45 seconds. We will then now conduct jumping jacks for 45 seconds. So at this point we have completed 10 minutes of class, and we accomplished a warm-up lap, dynamic stretching, and now we will then move on to where I demonstrate for the students how to properly catch and kick a ball correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the catching the ball correctly. Usually when they kick the ball, you never know if you're gonna get a high ball or you're gonna get a low ball. So there are two methods of catching these balls. One of them, one rolling towards you, you're gonna pick it up just like if you play baseball, be a grounder. Just like that. You wanna have your hands together and catch it. Bring it to your chest. Make sure it doesn't go outside. Bring it in towards you. The next catch would be the pop fly. Pop fly is when it goes up like that. I want to have a pocket, nice pocket just like this. Try to follow with the ball and tuck in, secure it, just like this. Go ahead and do it again. We are then now gonna learn how to kick the ball properly. So the ball will be like this. You want to make contact with the ball with your feet on this portion right here, right on the side of your big toe, and a little bit of where your arc is at on your foot. Now, you want to kick it like this. This will prevent injuries from your toes and toenails. And the sweet spot for the ball is you want to have it right below of the midpoint. So probably right here. So you want to make contact with your foot with the ball. So it'll look like so. So it'll look like so. And there you go. There you go. And there you go. So once the students have learned how to kick and catch the ball, I will then have them go through a little drill. Now, I have 20 students, so I'm going to divide 10 and 10 into two groups. They're going to be in line facing each other with a good distance in between them. One side will be kicking the ball, practicing their kicking, their form and their technique, as well as the other line will be practicing their catching with their form and technique. Now, once this line is kicking them over, this line will catch it and will then kick it back. And they'll be going alternating in the back of the line. That'll be conducted for 10 minutes, that whole portion of me explaining the proper techniques and form to catch and kick a ball correctly, as well as them actually practicing that drill. That'll be 10 minutes. So we are then now at the 20-minute mark of the class period. I will then now explain the rules of kickball for those that don't know how to play. Now, kickball will last for 30 minutes. I will be keeping score and officiating the game, as well as rolling the ball to them as the pitcher. It is very important that we perform the cool down stretching before I release these students back to school in their classrooms. Now, these stretches are going to be a little bit longer. We're going to extend the time to 15 seconds on each stretch. First stretch will be the growing stretch. We will then lean to the right side. We will now then stretch the other side. Okay, the next stretch will be the arm stretching. The way we'll perform that is having one arm across your body and the other pushing it this way. Just like that. Hold it for 15 seconds. Okay, we'll then now do the other side. The next and final stretch is the overhead arm pull. And it'll be performed like this. One arm, put it on the small of your back, on your spine, get your elbow, push down. Okay, we'll then now do the other side. Once your cool downs are complete, that'll be another 10 minutes. So if you calculate all the time together, that'll be 1 hour with the whole class time period. So what did we do today? We accomplished dynamic stretching. We accomplished the form and technique of how to play the game of kickball. And then we put everything together in a game scenario and played the game of kickball, allowing the students to show what they've learned during the class period. Now after that, we also conducted our 10-minute cool downs. Cool downs are very important and essential to the body. Got to make sure the body regulates to normal levels all around. That's going to complete my class and what I'll be doing for the whole hour for elementary students, primarily aimed at 5th graders. Play the game of kickball.